Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you are so far enjoying the first chapter where we are learning and reviewing the basic statistic concept that we're going to use in the next several weeks. And so, in this video, I specifically going to talk about the statistical analysis ethics. So, the question is, can statistic lies? Yes, of course. And why? As we mentioned before, there are so many ways. And so, for instance, if when you collect the data, the sample cannot be representing the population. And if you only representing your result and without talking about the sample and how you do using the sampling method to collect the data, so your conclusion might be misleading. And also another type of the popular mistake people usually make is when they are interviewing people, they are very selective. So they already know who might give the biased answer, and then they are interview those people to get a biased data. And also another very popular way to make mistake or misleading the people reading the statistics report, that is misrepresentation using the chart and the diagram. And so in this video, I will give you more example about the misleading using the graph. And so after we look at example, I want to make my points why I'm showing you those misleading chart and identify those unethical misconduct. So first, let's look at this diagram. And so if you look at this diagram, so you can see the title is If Bush Tax Cut Expires. So this is the screenshot I got from Fox News. So on this chart, Fox News shows what would happen if the Bush tax cut expired. So when you look at this chart, oh wow, that will generate a huge impact, right? It's very, very big differences between now and January 1st, 2013. So that will huge changes. However, if you pay attention on the scale, so pay attention on the scale. So you can see the maximum is not 100%. It's only 42%. And then if you look at the differences between these two bar charts, now it's 35%. And then January 1st, 2013, that's 39.6%. So the difference is only 4%. But when you just look at the chart itself, you'll think, wow, that's a huge change if the Bush tax cut expired. So this is a very misleading diagram. So people are unethically using the statistical method to supporting whatever political argument they want to make, but obviously this is unethical. So let's look at another example. So this example is from USA Today. So this is from USA Today. So this diagram I find from USA Today. So this is a kind of like a very fuzzy graphs. So that have too much information and misleading the audience. And so if you look at this diagram, make our welfare problem looks like it's a spiraling out of control, right? You can see it's really out of control. But if you pay attention what where the y-axis is, you can see, look at this y-axis. It's starting at a 94 million, so it's not starting from zero. So actually, this kind of changing is not dramatic. Again, this is a misleading diagram, and they are using this misleading diagram to supporting the conclusion they want to get. So this is unethical. Let me show you the last example here. So the last example. So this is the example I found from the Times. So the Times. So you might be thinking that the graph on the right shows the Times makes double the scale of the Daily Telegraph. But take close look at the scale. Again, look at the scale, and you will see although the Time make more sales, it's only beating the competition by about 10%. Again, it is a really misleading chart. And so again, the scale itself, how you representing the scale sometimes will leading to a misleading result. So why I'm pointing out those examples? I don't want you to think, oh, statistics is fake. I just don't want to use it. No, no. So here is, I want to point out is, when you will be a statistician or a business analytics person, when you do any statistical analysis, you have to be ethical. Because it's true, statistics is very hard to understand. When you're taking this class, you understand, oh, it's hard. It's very hard to most people. But if you will be able to land in those jobs, usually it's a very high paid job, good paid job, and you hold a high ethical standard. You don't want to give the wrong misleading information to the people who have less knowledge about statistics. Holding a high standard is important because in the short term, people might gain some self-interest, make people to believe what they believe. In the long term, the lie always will be pointed out. Well, and so people will lose the trust from you, and whatever you see will not be trustable. And so that's your personal impact. And so the national global impact will be if you give using the wrong information, misleading statistics, guiding the wrong policy making, it might causing a lot of problem, economic crisis, and human life loss, and so even creating war. So that's why, as hope if this is your first business statistics class, I hope you can remember this lecture for the rest of your life. And if you're gonna be pursuing a business analytics career, and please be ethical. And also, if you want pursuing this career, maybe you just try to in other field won't ever touch the data, but you will read the report. But I also want you to be smart. When you read any report, any news report citing the statistic using the statistic diagram, make sure think a little bit. Is that right? Why they came out that conclusion. So always question yourself. And so learning the statistic make you smarter and be a better business decision maker, or even your better decision maker in your own life decisions. So the last thing I want to mention is just in case you will become business analytics, pursuing business analytics career or being a statistician. So we do have an ethical guideline available online. And so I hope I read myself, and I hopefully if you pursue this career, fully understand what is the ethical guideline. So nobody gonna punch. There is no law that you have to follow the ethical guideline, but this is a kind of industry standard, and also you don't want to be a person creating the laws for the society. So therefore, I want you to recommend you to look at this website. And so it is based on, it's from the American Statistician Association. It is a free download. If you have extra time, I highly recommend you to look at get some basic idea about the ethical guideline for the statistical practice. And I want you to be a smart, efficient, and ethical statistician or business analytics person, or make a good decision, and you know what kind of report you should trust. So this is the end of this chapter, and the next chapter, what we're gonna learn is our chapter 2. We're basically gonna look at the descriptive statistic. It's called a graphical display. So how can we use graphical display to summarize data? Remember the graphical including table and chart, table and a chart. So we're going to look at what kind of table and chart you should use to analyze quantitative data, what kind of table and chart you should use to summarize the quantitative data. So I will see you in next video.